This is it is very hard. It's very difficult to explain this. This is my very last piece. This is the very last. Let me start again. It is quite hard to explain. It is the last work of art on earth. After this art of work, there won't be any other works of art on earth. It is where I've created it, and I am creating it right now. As I just said, the very last work of art on earth. This is the room where my father, who died a few years ago, used to work and do stuff. And I am here and I'm creating the very last work of art, not in this particular, it's not connected immediately or directly to this particular location here. It just happens that I'm here, and the location as well. So it is a piece that has let's say a very broad spectrum of different kind of meanings. And maybe I would even suggest different methodologies. It's a very difficult word for me as a German speaker. To understand. There's a method to understand things. I can understand a piece of work in a certain manner, in a certain way, and I can also try to understand, make sense of something, of a piece of work. I'm talking about work of art here, artwork, in a slightly different, in a very different manner. And it is this idea of creating something that is utterly interesting and utterly out of focus as well sometimes. I just realized, and it's really hard to stay in focus if the picture is not in focus. So it is rather stupid, isn't it? I can't figure it out. It's just ridiculous. Okay, stop it here once. And now I'm back in focus, I believe. Alright. So, anyhow, this piece of work here is it is culturally relevant in a sense that it doesn't make much sense to the unoccupied eye. When I say unoccupied, I don't mean, it's nothing to do with being occupied. It's more of it's a very, how can I say, it's a very immediate response to something that has existed in the future. I mean, I say has existed in the future, I'm using the past tense here to describe this piece of work. It's because I had the idea already. I wasn't aware of the idea though. So, it is, of course, it was a past. I mean, having the idea of the last work of art in a particular moment in time, and when I talk about it, because I've had it already, so it must be the past. That's very logical. It's a logical timeline. It's logical. I mean, it's logical. The timeline, you know, it's just the way it is, you know. Here, these holes are like time holes, says Kay, just like you know, to divide time. Time doesn't exist, of course, we know that, but we're not talking about time now. And I had the idea here, and now I'm here. Well, no, I'm here. Sorry, let's do it this way. This is present tense. It's present now. We're here now, right? Or this is where the future begins. We just right before that. And now we're here again. It's very funny. Or we had the idea here. I had the idea here, and I'm talking here, now here, about something that happens here. So, but one day it will be here. Oh, I mean, anyhow, it is about. Anyway, I had the idea of the very last piece of work last work of art. I prefer to say work of art than piece of work. It's just a piece, isn't it? It's just a piece. It's a piece. Anyhow, and when I try to come up with a conclusion or with a profound meaning or whatever, I fail to do that because there is no such thing as a profound meaning. The only profound meaning in this piece of work is because it is the last work of art, and it culminates. It all goes into this very last everything, all the cultural and social, whatever historical activities of man and woman at a center point. Like to say the word center point. They culminate in this particular piece of work. Yeah, right here. This is the very last, and therefore, that is its relevancy. That's why it's relevant. See? Because everything comes together here. And after this piece of work, what else is there to do? What else is there to do? Well, restart. You could restart. What would that mean if you restarted? You'd have to delete it. You have to delete mankind, history, everything. Everything you have. I'm not reading actually. I'm just looking. I'm just trying to find focus again, because this is such a weird thing now. If I come closer, my work is absolutely not in focus, I believe. That's really stupid. I go back a bit, I'm more in focus. I have to stop it. I stop the recording, and I'm focused. That's really weird, isn't it? I could switch it to manual focus, then it will be always in focus. However, this means I couldn't walk. Now, I walk here now, I should still be in focus, I believe. But I'm not. It's on a static focus, isn't it? Right. It is, I have to be here, in the center. Alright. And I've been thinking, I've done a lot of work in the last years, and a lot of my work seems very out of focus, out of control, maybe. You know, I don't have a lot of control on my work, and it seems to be random sometimes, and you know, everywhere, nowhere, and no direction, blah blah blah. And they want you to have a direction apparently, and my work doesn't. So but this kind of work this is everything, and. Oh yeah, before I just lost the thing, the connection, the red line and the line, and the very last piece of work is this, and that is why it's relevant. And what else is there? What profound meaning or beauty can you find in this piece of work? What profound beauty? Is meaning equal beauty is the question of this work. I question these things as my work sometimes, and sometimes I don't. Very often I do. I would like to point out that I have limited abilities to clearly express what I intend to express when I start a piece of work. It is more of a process I follow. You know, I have an initial idea, and sometimes the initial idea is great at the time, and is really stupid afterwards. when I work on this particular idea, and a process starts, and within that process lies the importance of, or the essential quality of what I do. It is. Why would I? The question is there. This answers this question. Why? What is the purpose of art? The purpose of art is to accelerate or to help, to maintain, to support the process of thought, development. You process something, you come up with new ideas, this. You put things together, it's like a puzzle. You put things together and it makes sense. And that's the whole process from start to the end. That line, that again a timeline, is where I see the importance of art, where I see the practicality of art, actually. Yeah. And other people, engineers or whoever, they have an idea, they think of, let's create I don't know, a vehicle that goes from A to B, and then you need to figure out how to do that. It's an initial idea, a fantastic idea, and then you implement, and then you work on the idea, and then it becomes. Then you create, you make it happen by work. Only because you work on it. Okay. All right. And then this very last piece here. It's important. I do believe I'm out of focus again. This is really bizarre, isn't it? It doesn't make sense at all to me. It simply should just find its focus automatically, It's probably because of the light here. The light is not very good here. I love the light here, really. It's beautiful. And you see this here, everything is magnificent, I have another camera which I could actually then use to show more about the whole thing, just a little camera recorder which I can show you here some footage. I just switch it off, that's really stupid. Maybe I record this first. Here we are, that's the camera I'm using, so you can see how that works as a camera. A very small camera, a lovely camera actually. Alright, and here this is a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place. It's a magnificent place, really. I love it. I've been here so many times, and it's funny though, I didn't spend much time and that was alive, really. He spent a lot of time. Not the recent years, because he was feeling very good. Yes. Good old cancer visiting him. Hello, knock knock. Horrible, isn't it? Yeah, that's. He created a lot of stuff here. So many. Oh, this is my camera. This is me again. Yeah. This is my. This is just a total mess. But he was a collector of things, random things, many things, whatever things, just things, yeah. And it's kind of nice, isn't it? Yeah, that's the work. That's his work here. His tools. There's lots of more tools. Some of the tools got stolen actually. He died. That's really horrible, isn't it? People know somebody died and they're just going to steal their stuff. It's just unbelievable. All right. Let's go back here. Put this here. You see, I can put this. I put my camera here, so I can see myself here. And when I'm focused or not, I have to see here when I'm focused. See, I just check this. It's very simple, really. Let's check this one, and I'm not in focus. So I press here. I'd like to be in focus. I'm actually not in focus. So push, isn't it? Being out of focus all the time. Need to focus. Focus. That's more focus now. Focus. No, focus. I'm in focus now. No focus. Oh no. I'm in focus. Yeah, I'm in focus. It's a very long. It is a very long description. It's a very long. It's very long. This whole film here takes ages, and it's a film. Focus, out of focus. Focus, out of focus. I hate it. All right. I'll put it down here now, and I will have to. Again, let's just switch it off quickly. Switch it on, yeah. Switch it off here. This here, cool. Right. Here. switch it off. Alright, I changed to setting your face detection mode. That should help it maybe, hopefully. See. Alright. This is a... Now you also have to question, of course, why would that be just called video, film, called a piece of work. Oh, why would this be a piece of work? I mean, it is. Is it the film? No, it's not the film. It's the making of the film that makes it a piece of work, and it's also I find the physical world we live in. I find it very confusing sometimes, and it's confusing because it's understanding is the problem. I mean, you read a lot, you hear and read a lot of stories of ideas, of philosophical ideas, if you may say so, about our conception of the world, how we interact with the world, is the world real, and that kind of stuff, you know. And you can find in the world, you can travel through time and space and manifest there. Certain people can manifest their body again, and another time, the time travel possibly, yes. But I find myself stuck in this material world, you know. I'm very much stuck. Now, by creating this piece of work, which consists essentially out of pixels, little pixels on the screen, and they're moving around. They're not moving around, they're static actually. But anyway, the colours and everything. Anyway, this doesn't matter. It's a reconstruction of this physical world. And another question is: are pixels, digital data? Are digital data are they physical? They're physical because we can see them. Can physical bodies or physical vessels, physical things, matter, let's call it physical matter, see? Can only physical matter recognize physical matter? That is quite interesting to me, and I also, that's one of the things I'm trying to explore with this piece of work, which is very, again, I mean, it's very important to say, it's essential to say it, to know what it is. It's essential to understand what it is. The last work of art on earth. The very last. It's just incredible how last. I mean, just imagine the idea. Nothing will ever be created ever again in terms of art. People will go on creating this stuff, you know, the horrible pencil drawings or whatever, the strange collages and the stupid little, I don't know whatever they do, you know. They will continue to call these things art, but this film, this piece of work, is a stop. You know, that's it. That's over and out. That is it. Over and out. And I like that. And there, I see the relevant. That's why this piece of work is relevant. You can't measure it. You can't qualify it, maybe. It's certainly not quantify. But you can recognize it. Recognize art. This piece of work is about the recognition of art, the understanding of what art actually is. You know, when I go to Instagram, for example, I see these, like, I used to follow a lot of, like, all these strange arts groups, whatever, you know, where they feature amazing artwork, you know, some strange, horrible drawing of a lion, you know, very well drawn, but it's horrible, soulless, you know, with the picture of, also like a picture of the drawing, and then you can see the pencils around and that kind of stuff, you know, or these beautiful spiritual faces in the woods, now, you know, or they're in the woods or whatever, you know, fairies and dwarfs. It's just horrible art. or rainbows. Anyhow, and this work here, this very last work tries to, first of all, tries to make a point that that stuff is not art, and it also makes a point of and say, okay, how can I? It is very hard to explain, really. It's like, okay, imagine this is like a big mouth. A mouth. And it swallows everything, you know. Kani Anishkapu. Ai Weiwei. Linear. Martin Creed. Go back. Picasso. All these old people as well. All here. And then I just spit it out, like I vomit it out into the back of the camera. And when I do that, when I vomit it into the back of the camera, so basically I vomit it here, so to the viewer, because this view from the camera, from the back, is the view of the person, the view of the person who watches this video. And then basically it goes all in here. And it all congregates inside the brain, in the back part of the brain, you know, and it stays there. It's a heavy burden, but then it can also you can it just bursts out of your ears into nothingness. It's gone, it's gone, it's finished, over and out. That's why this piece of work here is essential. It's enormous. You think about it. It's absolutely enormous. I find it enormous. I want to film a little bit more of this room. It's just very inspiring now. I'm very inspired by this here, this whole room and everything. You know, it's extraordinarily interesting. So while doing this here, I'm just doing this as an example. I'm filming here at the same time, and the idea of filming it at the same time is because I'm making a point, you know. Yeah, believe me, I'm making a point here. It's about developing a piece of work. It's just, you know, to make a point, not much really to it. Oh, there's this funny, lovely thing there everywhere, you know. This is actually quite interesting. This is a mirror. I can see myself here. See? And I'm like, I can see myself. Oh, it's very I can see myself here filming, and I can also see myself there. Oh, you can see myself. Yeah. And yeah, so yeah. I could put this somewhere or not. Nah, that's the point. All right, let's go back to this piece of work now. There's the aspect when you create work, you always have to think about the viewer as well. How, you know, let's say the attention span. Most people have a very short attention span, and you know, you go into a gallery, a museum, and there's a dark room, and there's a video, you know, and you look at it, you know, yeah, you stand there. Yeah, it's interesting, yeah, nice. You know, then it's done, it's finished. So, I often sit down and watch a little video of something. Not always, I must admit, not always, it's calm, it's just boring, really. Or just you continue to move on. It's just like, okay, it's another video, okay, great, you know, okay, come on, okay, wow, amazing, man. But, you know, really. So you continue, you move on to the next piece of work you would like to discover in this gallery show or whatever, museum show. And this video is also about this interaction between viewer and maker, and what is in between is and the maker has to not only think about the content of the work or the beauty and all these things, you know, and I don't know, the ideas and whatever, you know, and also have to think about the attention span of the viewer. You know, I mean, viewing this video is a very long video, I believe. Well, in a way, it's as long as humanity existed. All right, so, but compressed. Compressed. Yeah, work needs to be compressed. You know, so we have attention span and compression. So you want to put a lot of things into one tiny space. Could be a space in terms of physical time, physical space, very physical, or on a canvas, a little bit here, or time. You know, the moment eternal in itself and limited by input or attention span. Yeah, I just made this mistake, a Freudian slip thing, isn't it? Spam and span. That's very interesting. So this very last piece, this very last work of art on earth also explores spam. Art is spam. You know? I mean, there's so much art being produced nowadays. It's just an incredible amount of art. And you go, you know, you look at it, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, etc. Social media, basically. It looks like spam, you know. All these people posting their artwork, posting another Freudian slip. It is kind of, yeah, that's what it is. I sometimes feel as an artist that you end up in a cage, something like this here, but made by yourself. There's nothing you can do really about it. It's just yourself made this. It is what I'm doing right now. I am walking around in a very ridiculous manner in a way, and I could even do this one. I mean, this is trying to break into my own prison, and it doesn't work. I can't break into my own prison. You know, why can't I break into my own prison? This is one of the questions I'm asking here. Why can I not break into my own prison? I don't know. Ask yourself this question: why can you not break into your own prison? Is there something about it that makes it impossible to break into your own prison? Yeah? See? I can't. I cannot use the hammer to make myself aware of the prison, but I can't break unless I come up top here. But if I break into my own prison, I probably crush my own skull, and that is very unhealthy. And I know it's getting a bit too far now. This is ridiculous. Okay. It's not ridiculous. Another thing, is it ridiculous or not? This is the question we have to ask ourselves. If you're an artist and art maker, do you have to ask yourself, is it actually ridiculous? Is it ridiculous? I mean, is it totally stupid? Is it a waste of time of your time, of everyone else's time? Is it like, oh my God, you know? Just, oh my God, I like saying that, oh my God. And it's just totally ridiculous. It doesn't make sense at all. And it's not funny. It's not funny. And that is important, that the fact that it is not funny. It's not funny at all. It's just a piece of work. Think about it. And I find myself often in the situation of actually, and I made a big mistake actually. Okay, the idea of this last piece of work was to make it. Of the video now to talk about the last work of art, and about something you can't really see, you know. But I'm talking mainly about the video. So this is not. That wasn't my intention, really, is it? Was it? So now, what has to happen is that I have to redo it. I have to start again. Yeah. Okay. Let's start again. Alright, that's the first part. After the second part. Alright. The very last. This is an attempt to explain my work to an audience I don't really know. I don't really understand. There's an audience. Let's say we call it market as well. In social media marketing, you call it market. The people who basically buy or look at your work or influence your work as well, maybe. You know, it can influence your career, etc. I can, let's say, you have like these like websites or people who, you know, they put you on Twitter and then you're out there, you know, and people know about you. Influencers, they call it. And yeah, the market. I don't really know the market. And who knows the market? You know. And this work just does examine the many aspects of the market in a way. And it also, well, first of all, it juxtaposes the maker of the work, well, the artist, with the market, the people, the viewer, the people outside you. And it's like there's a difference. There's me now, this piece of work, and there's the market here. And what I see, I would like this piece of work essentially makes one big market. So the artist becomes part of the market. This is quite interesting, isn't it? You don't have this separation between you and the maker and the market. So this, the last work or not, it does actually create this. Well, I mean, spiritual people, religious people call it the great oneness or whatever. You know, it's like we're one. You know, but it is, yeah. It's basically about being one. The market is you. The market is the buyer, the museum director, the gallery director, the crazy fan, anybody, you know, the artist. So it's like one thing, and it explores this dynamic within the oneness of the market. It explores the what's going on, all these interactions, these interactions. And I find it essential to explore that. You know, if you don't explore that, then what else is there to explore? You know, I mean, it's essential to explore certain things, and this is one of the things that this piece of work explores. You know, so well, we know what art actually is supposed to do. Some people know about art. You know. Claim to know about it. I know what art means and all these things, but this piece of work doesn't really specifically talk about the meaning of art, what art means, the purpose. It explores it just explores, you know. It just explores, and it maybe pulls down, removes boundaries, limits. You know, it breaks the prison of definition. It's like a fish swimming freely away from everything there is. Yeah, it is hard to explain sometimes what this is all about. I mean, when I had the initial idea of this work, and I didn't know that there will be a first part of this video and a second part, and that the second part is actually then. The first part is after the second part, which is totally wrong, of course, in a linear time thing, you know. So this part should be like in front of the other part, so, you know, in the timeline. But it isn't. And I think there is it's also relevant. This is also relevant. There's also there's a relevant aspect of the art of what I'm doing here with this particular word is this confusion. You know, this is extraordinary confusion. I mean, we are confused. The market is confused. We don't. I mean, who know why do certain people like certain things? You know, why are certain prices that high? Who understands what good art is? You know, now you go to like lots of websites. And they sell art, and it's just like, they sell a lot, some of them, and like, what the hell, it's really bad. It's like horrible work, but people like it, love it, love it, love it, they're crazy about it. And this is one of the pieces, and one of the aspects, the very last work of art on earth, explores, you know, explores, is investigates, is concerned with, that's his thing, which I find a really stupid expression. And how can I say it? Anyhow, you have to. Sometimes when it comes to art, you have conceptual work which you can't see. It could be a handshake, very famous, isn't it? Or a golf ball that lands in someone's living room, and great, you know. And I shoot yourself, I don't know. And these are actually all quite physical. They're all physical, you know. There's a physical manifestation of an action. Something that, you know, happens, you know. The shaking of hands is a physical action. Yeah, shake your hand, you shake my hand, you touch, you know, you can smell. You can maybe, workers come out of the factory, shake their hands, hold them, maybe sweaty, I don't know. Maybe not, they had a shower, I don't know. Or they had something else, they touched something, I don't know. But anyway, there's a physical reaction, there's an interaction. And the golf ball, for example, there's something happens, and then the golf ball flies, and somebody takes a photograph. So the physical, it's an interaction, isn't it? It's a manifestation of an action, etc., etc. But now the question is with them, what? It's about a physicality of work and the perception of physicality, and the idea or the question: where do I? What part of the whole process do I manifest? Do I want to manifest the whole process? Impossible. But let's say I would complain. You can. One of the aspects that this particular aspect can be compared to boxing match, you know, and they earn a lot of money. They fight for like an hour, maybe 50 minutes, depending on, and an enormous amount of money. Why? Because they were training so much. They sacrificed years and years of training for this moment of fame, of absolute victory, you know, and making a lot of money. Therefore, it's justified, and it culminates in this particular moment. Or like a sakura no hana, a cherry blossom in Japan, and it doesn't last long. It just beautiful one day and then gone. Gone, but you know. So it all culminates in something. In particular, in the physicality of this work now, where does it culminate in? What does it manifest? Which part of it is being manifested that represents everything, the whole process. And the very last work of art is, and that is one of the main aspects. This work explores. It is hard to determine where an idea, just a random idea maybe, comes from. Who knows? Who knows where an idea comes from? Does it come from somewhere else? Does it come from myself? Who am I? Am I just a product of someone else? Am I a conception of something of myself, of my circumstances? I mean, who the hell am I? You know? I mean, if I'm a great guy, a super genius artist, is it really me? Did I make this? You know, I was born into a family of artists, of famous people, of whatever. You know, hey, great, one step ahead. And even if you're like not born into like a great family, whatever, you know, and you make it, hey, you've been given certain things, you know, to make this happen. So is it you? No, it's not. Anyway, that is another aspect of this particular work, the last work of art. And this work explores, investigates, and as I said, is concerned with. And I would go as far to say that it even explores the meaning of relevant. Yeah. It does explore in a very profound way the meaning of being relevant. You know? Relevant to whom? When? Why? Is it relevant to understand the work? Is the work itself relevant in its beauty, in its message, in its sole existence as a piece of work? Or is the interaction relevant? What happened before? What happened before? And what happened before is what is being presented now and in the future. So you have this what is relevant? It's very difficult to describe, and that is one of the aspects this work also very well, I must say, explores, you know, and questions and puts out there as a question, you know. It's an answer, it's a question. The answer and the question, what's the difference sometimes, really? It's almost the same, really. So, it also does definitely examine, also very important, and it connects to what you said before, influence. Influence, I'm not talking about social media influencers or whatever, you know. I'm talking about influence from the outside, other works of art, you know. It's a great thing. For example, I went to an exhibition in Vienna Contemporary, or something it's called. That's the art fair, but before that, Vienna curated. There was a gallery on title or something. There was a piece of work. I can't recall. I can't remember the name of the artist. It's a very piece of good work. Good piece of work. There was a postcard and blah blah blah. It's unwritten. I can't remember exactly what it was. And anyway, blew up a balloon. And in the gallery space somewhere, there was a balloon, and I quite like to copy this idea because I really liked it. It was a different color. I think it was green. I don't remember. I have different balloons here actually. So this is one of the aspects of the piece of work does examine. You know, it is it repetition. What is repetition? Repetition is but we have repetition. A pattern is a rhythm, something that happens same again. Tack tack tack. That's repetition. But repetition can also be that I copy something and someone else copies it again, and it might change that. It change. So a pattern as a patterns. Okay, when you just look at a pattern like this, just like this, close up, you know, close up pattern. Huh? It doesn't repeat, it doesn't mistakes. But if you continue, then you might actually see certain mistakes, which create new patterns in a way, evolve the pattern, and yeah, that is quite a essential part of this piece of work. And I'm creating. I'm recreating, just to explain what I'm trying to do is, I just use a balloon to explain what I mean. This is quite a hardcore. What? Oh, fainted. Bloody hell, is that hardcore? All right. Okay, there we have it. It's a green balloon. Yeah, oh, it's not very, do it again. It's very, okay. There you go. Cool. Here's the balloon. And, what do you have? Cool. The balloon. Here. Picture of the balloon. Yeah. Balloon. The balloon. Yeah. Lovely balloon, isn't it? Yeah. It's a very lovely balloon. Yeah, it is indeed. Cool. There you go. So this is just I'm just trying to, I was used this example with the balloon as an example to explain what I mean by repetition, which is one of the main aspects of the last work of art. And when I think about what else there is, well, there's a million things that this piece of work explores. It's like an abundance of ideas of cultural phenomenon and everything. It explores just like it explores. I don't even know what it explores really. It's very difficult to pinpoint. You know, that's one of the aspects, the main aspect of pinpointing. It does explore pinpointing. It's one of the main things that it pinpoints somewhere, something, and then it makes a decision of if that is relevant or not. If it's then there's a connection that it will. It also it makes a relation. It creates a relationship with the work itself. So there's the work. It pinpoints to something, to an idea, to whatever an aspect in life. Could be political, social, artistic, cultural, whatever, you know, there is. And it creates that relationship between that aspect and the artwork. And there we could create a dilemma of conflict of interest, it's called, isn't it? Or we could create a balance, and just create discourse, friction that makes the work relevant. So the idea is then, is the work relevant because of friction, or is the friction relevant to the world? This is one of the things that I think one of the main aspects probably. When I think about it, yeah, that's probably one of the main aspects that the work relates to. You know? When I think about my upbringing, it was very relevant to who I am now, but it was also a burden in a way. It was more difficult because I wasn't born to a rich family. I was born into an interesting family. My father's an artist. My mother read a lot and travelled a lot and everything. We grew up in a commune and moved around all the time. So it was good. It was interesting. I met a lot of people, and it made me who I am. So, but it also was more difficult, because I had to fight. There was a friction between me going to between where I am, where I've been put, how I've been brought up, and and the other people. So in between, you go to school and you want to be like the other people as well because you want to fit in. But at home everything's different, So that is it's good, but it's also a hindrance, So, but at the end of the day, it's who you are and what you have become. And this is one of the aspects this last work of art explores, of course. What are we? Where are we? Are we going anywhere else? Is it now? It's just like this. Is it now? Oh, sorry. That's just the end of the line. That's just finito. No way, Jose. It's over and out. No me, I'll be back. No more. And I find it very important that this piece of work is. It basically, first of all, it explores, and it is the end. Yeah. Yes, explore the end. Yeah. Just explore the end.